We're all aware that nothing messes with a man's head more than when a woman suddenly starts ignoring him. One day she's laughing at your jokes, responding instantly, maybe even flirting a little. And then out of nowhere, cold, distant, unread messages, and you're left wondering, what the hell just happened? Welcome to Men of Value, and today, we're talking about a mistake almost every guy makes when a woman pulls away. Actually, not just one mistake, but 5. And these aren't just small slip-ups. These are the moves that instantly drop your value in her eyes. Here's what you need to understand. When a woman ignores you, she's watching how you react. Are you going to blow up her phone, get in your feelings, try to fix things, or will you handle it like a man who knows his worth? Because whether she's ignoring you as a test, out of genuine disinterest, or even because she's dealing with something personal, your reaction determines everything. Most men get this wrong. They start chasing harder, trying to win back her attention. Or worse, acting like they don't care while secretly obsessing over her. But the truth is, your next move can either make her see you as someone she respects, or someone she can easily forget. So in this video, we're breaking down 5 common mistakes men make when a woman ignores them. Avoid these, and you'll stand out as a man who knows exactly how to handle himself. Let's get into it. 1. Blowing up her phone. Have you ever sent a text, didn't get a reply, and suddenly felt this urge to send another one? Maybe a hey, or a did you see my message? Stop right there. This is where most men go wrong. When a woman ignores you, the worst thing you can do is blow up her phone. It instantly lowers your value. It shows you're too eager, too available, and worst of all, that you're emotionally affected by her silence. And trust me, women can feel that energy. The more you chase, the more she pulls away. Most men panic when a woman ignores them. They think, maybe she didn't see my text, so they send another. And when she still doesn't respond, they get anxious, start overthinking, and send even more. Before they know it, they've sent 5 unanswered messages, digging themselves deeper into a hole. But here's the truth. If she wanted to reply, she would have. Women are on their phones all day. She saw it. She just chose not to answer. And that's where men fail. They think more effort will fix the problem. But in reality, attraction doesn't work like that. You can't convince a woman to like you by proving how much you care. It has the opposite effect. When you over-pursue, you kill the mystery. You remove the tension. And instead of seeing you as a challenge, she sees you as another guy desperate for her validation. Let's put it in perspective. Imagine 2 men. One texts her, and if she doesn't respond, he moves on without hesitation. He's too busy with his life to stress over one person. The other? He checks his phone obsessively, overanalyzing why she hasn't replied. He sends follow-up texts, trying to spark a conversation. Who do you think she respects more? Who do you think she's more drawn to? Attraction grows in space, not in pressure. If she's not replying, let her be. The man who can walk away is always more attractive than the man begging to be noticed. Instead of chasing, shift your focus back to yourself. Hit the gym, work on your goals, hang out with other people. If she's interested, she'll notice your absence and come back on her own. And if she doesn't, that's your answer right there. Bottom line, never, and I mean never, be the guy who tries to force a response. Let her silence be her message, and instead of reacting, show her that you don't need her validation. That's how a man of substance operates. 2. Posting to get her attention. Let's be honest. Social media has made it way too easy for men to embarrass themselves when a woman ignores them. Instead of handling it like a man and moving on, they start posting strategically, but not for themselves. They post for her, and trust me, she can see right through it. Maybe it's a selfie with some cringy caption like, living my best life, except you're not. You're just hoping she'll see it and think about you. Or maybe you start posting stories of you having fun just to make her jealous. You go out of your way to look like you don't care, but in reality, she knows why you're doing it. And the moment she realizes you're trying to get a reaction out of her, she loses even more interest. This is what most men don't understand. women aren't attracted to men who seek validation. They're drawn to men who are genuinely confident, not the ones pretending to be. If you post something just to get her attention, you've already lost the game. You're no longer leading, you're reacting. And the moment you start adjusting your behavior based on whether or not she notices, you're putting her in control. Now, let's say two different men are in the same situation. A woman starts ignoring both of them. The first man suddenly becomes extra active online, posting more, showing off, maybe even throwing in some mysterious quotes about relationships. The second man, he simply disappears. He's not playing games, he's not posting things for her attention, he's genuinely too busy to care. Who do you think she respects more? The one who keeps his power. And that's the real difference. The first man is trying to prove something. He needs her to notice him, and that's why she won't. The second man, though? His silence speaks louder than any Instagram story ever could. The most attractive move you can make is actually moving on. If you want to post something, do it because you want to, not because you're hoping she'll see it. And if you feel the need to put on a show just to remind her you exist, you're only proving that she's still in control of your emotions. Women don't come back because you post a cool picture. They come back when they realize you're unfazed by their absence. So instead of wasting energy trying to impress someone who's ignoring you, focus on being someone she regrets ignoring in the first place. That's how you win. 3. Trying to guilt trip her. When a woman starts ignoring you, one of the worst things you can do is try to guilt trip her into responding. Some men think if they can make her feel bad for pulling away, she'll suddenly come back and give them attention. But that's not how attraction works. In reality, guilt doesn't make a woman want you. It makes her feel annoyed by you. A lot of men fall into this trap without even realizing it. They send messages like, "I thought you were different, but I guess I was wrong," or "I've always treated you with respect, and this is how you act." They hope that by saying these things, she'll feel guilty and suddenly reply with an apology. But instead, it does the opposite. She feels irritated, not intrigued. It makes her think, "Wow, this guy is way too emotional over this." See, when a woman pulls away, she's already losing interest. Guilt tripping only confirms to her that she made the right decision. It screams desperation, and desperation is a guaranteed attraction killer. Women want a man who knows his value, not a man who needs her attention to feel okay. If she's ignoring you, take it as a sign. Maybe she's genuinely busy, maybe she's testing you, or maybe she's simply lost interest. Whatever the reason, your best move is to stay in control. A confident man doesn't need to convince a woman to talk to him. If she's interested, she will. If she's not, he moves forward without bitterness. Now, let's be clear, there's a difference between having standards and guilt tripping. If a woman is repeatedly disrespectful, you have every right to walk away. But walking away is about self-respect, not emotional manipulation. The moment you try to make her feel bad for ignoring you, you put yourself in a weak position. Think about it. Have you ever been guilt-tripped into liking someone? Probably not. If anything, it makes you want to avoid them even more. That's exactly how she feels when a man tries to guilt-trip her into replying. It doesn't make her think, "Wow, I really should talk to him." It makes her think, "I need to stay far away from this energy." A man who respects himself never begs for attention. He never makes someone feel bad just to get a response. Instead, he knows his worth. If she ignores him, he lets her go, without a single trace of resentment. And that right there is what makes a man truly attractive. 4. Acting like you don't care, but you clearly do. A lot of men think that if a woman ignores them, the best move is to act like they don't care. They stop responding, go cold, and try to make it seem like her absence doesn't bother them. But here's the problem. Most of the time, it's obvious that they're pretending. And women can always tell when a man is faking indifference. This is one of the biggest mistakes men make, because it's not real confidence. It's a defense mechanism. They think ignoring her back will make her chase, but deep down, they're still obsessing over her. They check her social media, hope she notices their silence, and wait for her to come running back. But the truth is, if she senses you're doing it for a reaction, she won't take the bait. Instead of making her curious, it makes her lose even more interest. Women are incredibly intuitive. If a guy suddenly goes from texting her all the time to complete silence, she knows it's intentional. She knows he's hoping she'll come back and validate him, and that kind of forced indifference just comes across as weak. It's not a power move, it's just another way of seeking her attention. And let's be real, if you actually didn't care, you wouldn't need to prove it. You wouldn't be checking if she's online. You wouldn't be crafting the perfect no-response strategy. You wouldn't be secretly hoping she notices. True indifference isn't about making her react, it's about not needing a reaction at all. The real problem here is that men confuse detachment with acting cold. True detachment means you genuinely don't care whether she responds or not. It means you're focused on your own life, and if she wants to be part of it, she has to earn that space. But acting like you don't care when you clearly do, that's just emotional dishonesty, and women can smell it from a mile away. And here's the worst part. When a guy pretends not to care but then she actually moves on, he panics. Suddenly the act is over. He starts liking her posts, sending random check-in texts, or trying to casually bump into her. And that's when she knows for sure it was all an act. The moment she realizes that whatever attraction she might have had left is completely gone. If she's ignoring you, don't play mind games. Don't act like you don't care just to get a reaction. Instead, actually shift your focus. Stop waiting for her to notice your absence. Stop hoping that ignoring her will make her rethink things. If she was truly interested, she wouldn't have ignored you in the first place. A man with real confidence doesn't need to fake indifference. He naturally prioritizes himself, his purpose, and his own growth. That energy is way more attractive than any game playing ever could be. If she comes back, great. If she doesn't, it doesn't matter, because a high-value man never sits around waiting for someone who walked away. 5. Asking her what's wrong. When a woman starts ignoring you, the worst move you can make is chasing after her with questions like, "Did I do something wrong?" or "Why are you acting different?" Men think asking her directly will give them clarity, but in reality, it only pushes her further away. Women don't respond to pressure the way men do. If she's ignoring you, she's already decided to pull back for a reason. And the truth is, she's not going to tell you what that reason is. Instead, she'll either say, "Nothing's wrong," while continuing to distance herself, or she'll give you a vague excuse that doesn't really explain anything. She's already showing you how she feels, and if you keep asking, it makes you look clueless. A man who keeps pressing for answers looks insecure. Instead of appearing confident and self-assured, he looks like someone who needs reassurance. And that's exactly what kills attraction. Now let's make something very clear. There's a difference between calmly addressing a real issue in a relationship and chasing after a woman who's just losing interest. If you're in a committed relationship, a mature conversation about changes in behavior makes sense. But if she's just someone you're dating or getting to know, constantly asking her what's wrong only makes her see you as needy. A better approach is to match her energy. If she's pulling away, stop chasing. If she's taking hours to text back, don't double text. If she's acting uninterested, stop trying to fix it. Let her wonder why you're not the one chasing answers. For example, if she starts acting cold, instead of asking, "What's wrong?" simply slow down your responses too. Get busy with your own life. Go to the gym, focus on your work, hang out with friends. Women are drawn to men who don't need their constant validation. The moment she realizes that you're not waiting around for her explanation, she starts questioning if pulling away was the right move. A high-value man doesn't chase after a woman's emotions. He observes, he reacts accordingly, and most importantly, he respects himself enough to let go when necessary. If she's interested, she'll come back. If she's not, there's nothing you could have said that would have changed her mind anyway. 6. Trying to make her jealous. Some men think that if a woman ignores them, the best way to get her attention back is to make her jealous. They start posting pictures with other women, talking loudly about female attention they're getting, or making sure she sees them with someone else. They believe that by triggering jealousy, she'll suddenly realize what she's missing and come running back. But this move almost always backfires. Let's be real. If you have to play games to get a woman's attention, you've already lost. A high-value man doesn't need to prove his worth by showcasing other women. He naturally attracts them, and the difference is clear. Women can tell when a man is genuinely desirable versus when he's just putting on an act to get a reaction. And when a guy tries too hard to make her jealous, she sees it for what it really is: insecurity. Men need to wake up and realize that acting like a child throwing a tantrum won't make her respect you. If anything, it makes her see you as desperate. If she ignored you and now suddenly sees you parading other women around, she doesn't think, "Wow, I made a mistake." No, she thinks, "Good thing I dodged that bullet." Because a man who truly has options doesn't need to rub it in anyone's face. The other mistake men make with this tactic is assuming that jealousy always works the way they want it to. Sure, some women do get jealous, but that doesn't mean they'll come back. Sometimes, it just makes them shut down emotionally and move on even faster. Or worse, it makes them lose respect for you entirely. A woman might see your attempts to make her jealous and think, "Wow, this guy is way too emotional over me. No thanks." Instead of playing these childish games, focus on genuinely improving yourself. If you want her to notice you, become a better man, not through manipulation, but through real growth. Level up in your life. Develop your confidence, your fitness, your mindset. Become so focused on your own progress that you don't need to make anyone jealous, because by the time she realizes what she lost, you're already too far ahead to care. At the end of the day, a high-value man doesn't try to make a woman jealous. He naturally creates desire by being the kind of man she doesn't want to lose in the first place. Stop the games. Stop the nonsense. If she ignored you, take that as her loss, not your problem. Keep moving forward. 7. Waiting around for her. Too many men make the critical mistake of waiting around for a woman who's ignoring them. They put their lives on hold, checking their phone every few minutes, hoping she'll text back. They stop making plans, just in case she suddenly decides to show interest. They convince themselves that if they just stay patient, she'll eventually come back. But this mindset is exactly what destroys a man's value in a woman's eyes. Let's get one thing straight. You are not an option. A high-value man does not sit around waiting for a woman to decide whether or not he's worth her time. He moves forward. He focuses on his purpose, his goals, and his life. The moment you put a woman on a pedestal and make her the center of your world, you've already lost her respect. Women don't admire men who sit around hoping for their attention. They admire men who are too busy living their own lives to care. The problem is that too many men don't understand how attraction works. They think that if they just show how patient and devoted they are, the woman will suddenly realize how much she means to them. But women don't operate that way. When a man waits around, he looks weak. He looks like he has nothing better to do. And that's not attractive. Here's a harsh truth. If a woman wanted to talk to you, she would. If she cared, she wouldn't leave you wondering. There's no such thing as too busy when someone truly values you. Yet, men still make excuses. Maybe she's stressed. Maybe she's unsure. Maybe she just needs time. No. If she wanted to be in your life, she would be. It's time to wake up and start acting like a man who respects himself. The second she starts ignoring you, your job is not to sit around waiting, it's to level up. Hit the gym, focus on your career, build your skills. Start surrounding yourself with people who actually want to be in your life. The irony is, the moment you stop waiting for her, she might suddenly notice you again. But by then, you'll be too busy with bigger things to even care. A high-value man doesn't wait for a woman to choose him. He chooses himself first. And that is the kind of man women actually respect. Stop waiting. Start living. If she comes back, fine. If not, even better. You just made room for someone who sees your value without making you beg for it. At the end of the day, the harsh truth is this. If a woman ignores you, she already sees you as beneath her. And the more you chase, the deeper you sink in her eyes. A high-value man never begs, never waits, and never tries to force attraction. He understands that his time is too valuable to waste on someone who can't see his worth. The reality is, most men don't lose women because they're bad guys. They lose women because they act too available, too predictable, and too afraid to walk away. And the moment a woman senses that weakness, she's gone, mentally, emotionally, and eventually, physically. Women don't respect men who need them. They respect men who can replace them. If you've ever been ignored, I want to hear your story. Drop a comment below, let me know what happened, and I'll personally reach out. This is a space where men level up, where we build each other up, not sit around feeling sorry for ourselves. Let's talk. Let's grow. And most importantly, let's stop letting women dictate our value, because at the end of the day, it's their loss, not yours. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.